All right, so here we are with another episode of Trackcast. I'm your host again, Rich Hanson, and today I want to take you through the current product line of Track and explain what each product is designed to do. So in a previous episode of Trackcast, we talked about cores, what type of core you want to get, symmetrical, asymmetrical. We talked about what RG is, what it does, what differential is, what it does to the bowling ball, and what mass bias strength you should probably look at when you're picking a bowling ball. Walking through the Track product line, here we have our symmetrical core bowling balls. We have the Tundra line, we have the Heat line, and we have the Triton Elite line. The Tundra line features a high RG core and a low differential combination. Remember when we talked about RG and differential? High RG is better for those with higher rev rates or on slower ball speeds, and also on drier lanes. So if you need help getting the ball down the lane, you want a high RG core. This also has that low differential. So once again, low flare potential equals less friction with the lane, equals less hook. The Tundra line, either in a solid or a pearl, is perfect. So now we talked about the Tundra, let's move over to the Heat and the Elite. The Heat features an RG of 250 and 038, so a medium RG and a medium differential. What that's going to give us is moderate revs throughout the lane and a nice, strong, smooth, continuous hook. You put that with the pearl cover stock, it's going to allow the ball to get down the lane easier, it's polished, it's better for medium to drier lane conditions. Moving up to the Triton Elite, very similar RG, but we have more differential. Our differential in this bowl is 046 in a 15-pounder, so we have a full inch more flare potential. We know more flare potential equals more hook, more friction on the lane, and a stronger overall motion. This is actually the exact same cover stock as the Heat Lava. It's the QR7 solid, so being a solid being sanded, if you wanted to compare it to the Heat Lava, just the difference in cover stock's going to get to want to pick up the lane sooner, create more friction, because it's duller finish and it's solid. The more differential is an equal more hook overall. So when you're wanting something that's a little bit stronger than a Heat Lava, something for medium to slightly oily lane conditions, the Triton Elite's the ball for you. All right, so we've talked about our symmetrical balls in our line. Now let's talk about the asymmetrical balls. Now remember, asymmetry, we can have from the 005 up to 026, a big range of asymmetry in the cores of the bowling balls. So we have a few different products here that have a different range of asymmetry. The first is the kinetic line. The kinetic line has a 0.005 intermediate differential. So comparing it to a symmetrical ball, and a very good one to compare it to is that Heat Lava. They actually have very similar RGs and differentials. The only difference is asymmetric versus symmetric. Remember, asymmetric, when it sees the friction, it wants to turn over just a little bit sharper. And so that's a perfect step up from a Heat Lava when you want something just a little bit sharper off the break point. Moving from there, we have the Tactics line. The Tactics line has yet a higher intermediate differential. It's 0.010. So we're going from 0.005 to 0.010. So what that means, when it sees the friction, it wants to stand up a little bit quicker. Now the cool thing about the Tactics line is this is more of a benchmark asymmetric ball. When it sees the friction, it does stand up a little harder, but it's nice and smooth, continuous. And that's the reason, because it has a medium low RG and a medium high differential. So the RG, once it gets the rev up, the asymmetry lets it kick up in the mid lane and the break point, and that differential just makes it smooth and continuous throughout the entire lane. Difference here is we have a hybrid versus a solid. Solid's going to pick up more in the oil. It's duller, it creates more friction in the oil. The hybrid version, polish. Polish finish is going to skid more through the front and have a little bit more kick down lane. So last, but definitely not least, is the Paradox line. The Paradox line has a little bit more asymmetry to the core design than compared to the Tactics and the Kinetic. Its asymmetric value is 0.015. So when it encounters friction and through the mid lane, it wants to stand up even harder. So this core is perfect for heavy oil. Revs up fast, strong asymmetry, big, huge flare potential. Definitely the ball you want to go to, the strongest ball in the Paradox line. We have three different versions. We have the Paradox Red, it's a solid. We have the Black Paradox, which is a hybrid, and we have the Paradox 5, which is a pearl. The solid is going to create good friction in the mid lane and a strong continuous back end because it's got a little bit different cover stock than the other two Paradoxes. The Black is going to pick up the quickest. Its cover is designed to create a lot of friction up front and then make the ball smooth and continuous down lane after that. Then the Paradox 5, being a pearl version, polished of the Paradox Black, is cleaner and can be more angular and more reaction at one spot and maybe a little bit less continuous than the Black. All right, so this wraps up another episode of Trackcast where we went through the entire Track product line. We talked about the different cores in the balls. We talked about the low RG, high differential, the high RG, low differential, the tundra line, the kinetics, the tactics, the paradox. The paradox being the big differential, low RG, high intermediate diff, perfect for heavy oil. Take all that information in, help you pick a new bowling ball for you, but don't forget to go to your local pro shop, run that by them, what ball you're thinking about, let them evaluate your game to make sure that that's the correct ball for you, and make sure you stay tuned to future episodes of Trackcast.